Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons. And I would love to talk about random encounters, but no, actually this is a Dungeons & Dragons review on a product which is basically the Dungeons & Dragons monster cards for challenge rating 6 through to 16. It is supposed to be a product for 12 years of age and upward, and I bought a box and I had no intentions of really doing a review, but as it happens, I am now doing a review. Funny how these things work out sometimes. Okay, so this is what I have. Now you'll find that the box is empty. I've emptied the box so that I could actually get the cards and show you, set everything out, make it a little bit easier and a bit smoother. So essentially I want to go over just the basics for this set before I show you the cards very, very quickly. So these are these are monster cards with stat blocks, all the statistical information from the Dungeons & Dragons 5e Monster Manual. That means no lore. You don't get any lore on these cards. That's just the mathematical stuff. That's it. It is made by Gale Force 9, licensed to them by Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. And there are 74 durable laminated cards. Now, the cards so far, I've mucked around with them a little bit. They seem reasonably durable. I don't honestly know how they will hold up over time, but I think they'll be as good as any card, really. The cover, look, it's supposed to cover challenge ratings level 6 through to 16. Sort of. Well, actually not really. As I discovered, I went through all the cards, every single one. It took me ages. Okay, so no, it doesn't really cover level 6 through to 16, and I will explain, don't worry, I'll get to that. It's not all the same artwork on the cards from the Monster Manual. There is new artwork, which kind of surprised me. There are no dividers in the box, which I find not a big deal because they're different size cards in here. So the cards would normally fit in here, and that's fine, but if you've got different size cards, you'd think you'd have a divider of some kind, but there's no divider in the box. Not really a huge big deal for me. That's not a big selling point. I'm going to put them in something else anyway, more than likely at some point. The cards they was all stuck together, which is why I didn't do an unboxing for this product. It would have taken me ages to unstick all the cards because they're all laminated, so all stuck together. So you need to be really careful when you're actually unsticking the cards. Otherwise, essentially what you're going to find is it's going to be a drag. It's going to be a complete pain in the butt. So don't do that to yourself. Make it easy for yourself and get them separated very, very slowly and carefully so you don't damage anything. It's supposed to give, well, it does actually, it gives the page number that you would find in the Monster Manual, that monster on the cards. The card actually has the page number that you can refer back to in the Monster Manual if you want to do that sort of thing. All of the information on the cards looks correct and complete, which can't be said for all of the spell cards that Gale Force 9 put out. There are missing cards in this card set for challenge rating 6 through to 16. There are cards that should be there that aren't there. Now, I will go over those cards very, very shortly. I do want to have a discussion. Probably the rationale behind it is a very good reason. And then I found some cards in this card set that shouldn't be there. I know that sounds ridiculous, but yes, there are cards in the card set that actually shouldn't be there, and yet we get them included. I would just consider that a bonus deal as far as I'm concerned. It's not really a big deal when you start getting cards that wouldn't actually normally be in a set between level 6 to 16. But if you have an issue with it, certainly it's odd. Anyway, so let us get on with the showing of the cards and explaining what you do actually get in here and what you don't get in here. So I'm going to do this fairly swiftly. I have sort of arranged myself in such a way, hopefully, that I can sort of move things over and talk about what's going on here. So I'm not going to talk about every single card as I go through. Instead, I want to talk about what cards are actually missing and why I think they are missing. Okay, so we're starting off with dragons. And you can see on the card here, I'll just turn it up the right way, you've got the monster name, what size it is, what sort of alignment, its what sort of creature it is, all of its numbers, stats and so forth, its armor, class, hit points, speed, all that stuff is there. Your saving throws, skills, damage, your senses, your languages if they have any languages, any kind of special creature abilities, or if they cast spells would be there, actions, all the actions are listed, and at the bottom you get the challenge rating, you get the amount of XP it's worth, and at the very bottom of the card you will find the page number. It might not be completely clear on the screen, but there is a page number there. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, and we're going to talk about what is missing from this card set, as you can see what I'm doing, right? Okay, so as I was going through, I spent a lot of time looking at the monster manual and all of the cards, and what I discovered is that there is no aboleth. Now, there's probably a good reason. The aboleth stat block is quite large, and it's a legendary creature, and there seems to be a recurring pattern I discovered as I was looking at the cards that were missing with regard to which cards were missing, and legendary creatures seem to be the things that tend to be missing. And as you know, legendary monsters do tend to be, whoops, we're on the wrong way around. How did that happen? Oh, we should be this way around. Somehow I must have shuffled them around the wrong way. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I think the stat blocks for the legendary creatures are so large that they decided that it was pointless to make a card for that, simply because why would you just not use the monster manual? It'd be much more sensible, right? I think that is why those particular types of monsters have been left out. I do not understand why the Behar, is it B-E-H-I-R, that thing, that stat block's not that large. It's not a legendary creature, but it's not included in the set. I also found that the Gynosphinx, one of the Sphinxes, a Sphinx, it's a legendary creature, and it's not included. It's not there. The Archmage, I didn't see any reason why the Archmage could not have been included in the set, and yet no Archmage. I noticed that the Adult Brass Dragon, legendary creature, not included. That makes a lot of sense. The Adult White Dragon is not included in the set. The Beholder is a legendary creature, and I think they would have struggled to get all the information on one of the cards. These are the small cards I'm showing you right now, not the large cards. There are larger cards coming. So that's not included either. No Beholder. So if you were hoping to see a Beholder card, no, that's not going to happen. Right, so those are the small ones. Let's move on to the larger ones, and I'll show you what I've got. Hopefully I've got everything around the right way. And if I lay them out in such a way that I can flip them over fairly quickly as we go. Alright, so starting off with the Chain Devil, and I'll just make sure I get them sort of stacked roughly on screen for you. Now you can see with a larger card, for the Chain Devil, for example, the structure is the same, there's just two columns to it. Okay, so two columns. Instead of one column like the original single card, it's two columns, and I don't have an issue with that. I mean, obviously that there was a way of sort of how do you lay it out and make it look like it's going to work. The print on it is quite small, so if you're getting old eyes, you will find a bit of a struggle to actually see some of the print. But, you know, I guess that's why you have to go and get glasses and prescription glasses. I know that's always been an issue for me. But anyway, that's part and parcel of the situation. All right, so here we go. Let's keep flipping through. Our Bone Devil is next. I'm going to just keep flipping. Now, what else is missing from this box set? The young red Shadow Dragon. I don't know why the young red Shadow Dragon is missing, but apparently it is. There's no reason. The stat block is not that big. It could have been fitted as far as I'm concerned. I did find that the Adult Black Dragon, legendary creature, not included. The Adult Copper Dragon, legendary creature, yet also not included. The Beholder Death Tyrant, not included, legendary creature, yet again. The Adult Bronze Dragon, not included. It's not there. Legendary creature, yet again. So, Adult Green Dragon, Death Tyrant, the Mummy Lord, legendary creature, not included. You'll find that the Adult Blue Dragon, legendary creature, yet again, not included. And the Adult Silver Dragon, not included as well. And finally, the Vampire. Now, that's a legendary creature, but on top of that, it's not just a legendary creature. It is a massive, huge stat block. It's like a whole page. So that makes total sense that you could not possibly put all the information on a card. What you would wind up with is like a fraction of the information you require, and then you need to have a page reference referring you back to the monster manual. So why not just use the monster manual, open that out for your vampire? So I don't actually have an issue with a lot of the cards that they have excluded. There are just a couple that I thought were a bit ridiculous that they could have included, but they didn't. The product looks nice, the artwork's good. Most of it is from the original Monster Manual for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. There are a couple of images that aren't, which I found a bit curious, so somebody must have been commissioned to do that artwork, which is kind of nice. And as I said before, there's a few cards in here that you're not supposed to get, yet you do get. And we're almost to the end. We'll just keep flicking through. You can see the layout. It's pretty much exactly what you would find in the Monster Manual. So the only problem with this is it's convenient because you don't have to photocopy it. So if you've got plenty of money and you don't have time to go photocopying and cutting everything out and then sticking it onto cards yourself, then this actually would be helpful, I guess. Oops, have we gone lateral? We have gone lateral. When did we go lateral? We went lateral a little while. I'll just flip this around. I'll just move these cards out of the way. Put them over there. I'll turn it this way, so that's sort of somewhere like that, okay? And I'll just keep flicking the cards over that way instead. Yeah, you're probably not going to see the entire text on it if I do it that way, so I'm just going to do it that way. I'm just going to put this in the center and flip them over, okay? That's probably the easiest way to deal with this, otherwise it's going to be too difficult. Okay, alright, so with a set like this, it really comes down to if you can get it at a discount, great. If you just don't have time to go and do what I normally tell people to do, which is just photocopy everything, and once you've photocopied everything, then stick it on a piece of cardboard and she's all done. If you don't have that time, then totally understand, you won't do it that way. And this is certainly convenient. As I said, I only purchased them because they were on discount. If it had been sent to me at no cost to me, obviously I wouldn't buy them, but I'm probably going to use these cards. Certainly if I've got an encounter where there's multiple enemies and you've got to try and flick through the monster manual looking for that monster to do whatever it's going to do. You know, that's always the most annoying aspect. Otherwise, you find yourself writing out stuff on index cards if you use index cards. So that is all of the large size cards that are included in this pack. Alright, so now that we've covered the large cards, let's talk about and show you what they gave us that was extra, which wasn't really supposed to be there, which is kind of odd, but yes, that's right. Goristo. Yep, you got the Goristo. I don't know why, but they do include it. And it's a challenge rating 17. It falls out of the spectrum for what we were expecting. The Menzeloth, another demon. That one there, flick it over. That's only a challenge rating 5. It's only challenge rating 5. So why is it in the set? Has there been some issue with quality control? I mean, that's always a possibility, I suppose. But it's included in the set, and it's a large card. Now, I'm pretty sure that the smaller, the set that's from 0 through to 5 doesn't have any large cards. I think they're all small cards. So, unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Maybe they included it here because they thought it made more sense. They could fit it into the pack. Maybe I'm just not paying attention, who knows. And yes, finally, that's right, you get the dragon turtle. You've seen this picture before, I'm sure, and you'll see on the back, there it is, and it's a challenge rating 17. So now you have a deck of cards that's not quite complete, includes a few monsters that you weren't expecting, which honestly is kind of cool, really, and you wind up with at least the cards that you get. You don't have to go through the monster manual and look up additional information because they couldn't squeeze it onto these cards. I think that is certainly part of the reason they had excluded some of the cards. Now maybe the monsters that I have been a little bit suspicious as to them being missing are just a product of my box and not a reflection of the entire product. But I just want to be completely honest, and since I took the time to actually check everything, I thought you might be interested. Now, this is your opportunity to ask questions, give feedback while you're still here. Use that live chat box, use that comment section right now. Go and watch more of my videos because I've got hundreds of videos for players and dungeon masters on reviews and player tips and dungeon master tips. I'm sure there's something that will help you in some way. I don't do Patreon, but I do have affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon. And yes, there is a link to the Gale Force 9 website and to an Amazon link for this product if you want that as well. That'll help support the channel. Now, share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos. And I just want to say to all of you who are watching this video that I am willing to continue doing reviews that are as honest as I possibly can and ensure that what I'm doing is not sponsored by the company who is actually getting me to do the review. If they send me the product for free or I buy the product, I'll do a review. But if there's any talk about me getting sponsorship for doing the review, I'm not going to do that. Just to assure you, just in case you're worried about that sort of thing. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.